Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're talking about a phone that's turning almost 6 years old. This blue iPhone 12 mini I have right here. I'm going to share a long-term review for 2026 and we'll cover what it's actually like to use today, especially since I recently installed the new iOS 27 beta on it. We'll talk about the design, how the performance and battery are holding up, the camera, and most importantly, whether it's time to upgrade to something like the iPhone 17, or if you should hold out for the rumored split release iPhone 18 next spring. Just for a little context, this 12 mini isn't my main daily driver right now. It mostly sits on my desk as a backup device, or I use it when my main phone is charging. I casually game on it, scroll through social media, and use it for review purposes, just like this video. And just a quick note, even though I have the mini model in my hand, pretty much everything I say here applies to the regular 6.1-inch iPhone 12 as well. The only real differences are the display size and the battery capacity, but the core experience is exactly the same. So what makes this 6-year-old iPhone really interesting right now is the software. Apple just unveiled iOS 27 at WWDC a few weeks ago, and I went ahead and installed it, currently running public beta 2. Honestly, my experience so far has been surprisingly good. Apple specifically focused on making iOS 27 more responsive, reliable, and delightful, and you can really feel it. It's essentially a much more mature version of the iOS 26 we got last year. You know, iOS 26 introduced that huge liquid glass design language, which looked great, but sometimes had some readability issues because it was their first big design shift in a while. With iOS 27, they've refined it. They actually added a new appearance menu in the settings with a slider, so you can adjust the liquid glass look to your own preference to make it more readable. Also, they refreshed the battery icon. It's much more minimalist now, which I personally really like. It just looks cleaner. I also ran some side-by-side Geekbench 6 scores, and the results are pretty insane. On my latest test with the stable version of iOS 26, the phone scored 2,107 on single-core and 4,610 on multi-core. But running the early iOS 27 beta, it actually scored a bit higher, 2,112 for single-core and 4,789 for multi-core. Yeah, I know. Comparing a beta to a stable release isn't exactly an apples-to-apples comparison, but the fact that an early beta is beating the stable build just shows how fluid and optimized iOS 27 is. It actually makes older iPhones feel great again. Let's talk about the design and display. When the iPhone 12 series first launched, it was a pretty big deal because it brought back those flat edges from the iPhone 4 and 5 days, which is still a great look today. But looking at the display, this phone has the last large classic notch. By today's standards, it is pretty huge, especially compared to the dynamic island on newer phones. It's also still a 60Hz display. Performance-wise, the A14 chip inside here was actually the first 5nm smartphone chip, and the 12 series was Apple's first 5G iPhone. For casual day-to-day tasks, swiping between apps, opening settings, watching videos, it's absolutely still decent. But there is a catch, and it's the RAM. This phone only has 4GB of RAM. So if I do a lot of multitasking, like I'm browsing Safari, then checking music, scrolling social media, looking at my photos, and watching a bit of YouTube, when I go back to Safari, the page reloads. It reloads quickly, sure, but apps nowadays just demand so much memory, and 4GB is where you really start to feel its age. I've also noticed that the phone gets warm pretty easily, even just juggling casual tasks. It could be that I'm just used to newer iPhones with better thermal management and efficiency, but the hardware is definitely working harder to keep up with today's apps. Moving to the camera. When this phone came out, it essentially matured the iPhone 11's camera system and added night mode to the ultra-wide lens, which the 11 didn't have. For casual day-to-day shots like posting on social media, it's actually still good. Apple's video quality remains a strong point. However, when you compare it to newer models with 48-megapixel sensors, you notice a massive detail gap, especially if you crop in. It's also missing modern software tweaks like cinematic mode, action mode, and optical quality zoom, which just creates a different tier of camera experience today. Then there is Apple Intelligence. The iPhone 12 mini does not support it. The minimum requirement is the 15 Pro. To be honest, I used to say that missing out on Apple Intelligence wasn't a huge deal because the beta version on iOS 26 just wasn't that great. But with iOS 27, Apple introduced the new Siri AI, and it really changes things. It makes on-device AI genuinely helpful for your day-to-day tasks. Because this phone doesn't support it, you really feel the gap between the non-AI era and the modern AI era. Sure, you can still download the Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude apps, and they are very smart, but it's not processed on device. You miss out on that deep system convenience and Apple's privacy policy for on-device processing. And we have to talk about the battery. My battery health is currently at 86%, and honestly, the battery life kind of sucks. It was the first 5G iPhone, the thermals were never great, and the 5G drain is massive. If I use this as a main daily driver, I get maybe 3 to 4 hours of screen on time, and I have to charge it 2, sometimes 3 times a day to make it to bedtime. Apple completely fixed this issue with the iPhone 13 mini. If you want a compact phone right now, the 13 mini is a much more mature device and the absolute best choice for small phone lovers. Also, a quick downside to consider, this phone still uses a Lightning port. In a world where almost everything, including newer iPhones, has moved to USB-C, keeping track of a Lightning cable is honestly really annoying and just lacks convenience. So, conclusion time. If you are currently using an iPhone 12 or 12 mini, I think after almost 6 years, it is a great time to upgrade. Moving to the base iPhone 17 gets you a 120Hz ProMotion display, thinner bezels, the dynamic island, USB-C, a 48 megapixel camera, and a base storage of 256 gigabytes. Plus, the resale value of the iPhone 12 is still decent right now, so you can get a little cash to put toward the upgrade. Alternatively, if you want to hold off, there are strong rumors that Apple might do a split release for the iPhone 18 lineup, launching the base and Air models next spring in 2028. But, if you just need an upgrade today, I highly recommend just getting that base iPhone 17 because you actually get a huge upgrade across the board, just like I talked about earlier. But yeah, if you are right now considering getting this iPhone 12 mini, maybe for your daily driver or just as a secondary companion device because you love a compact iPhone, I'd say just grab the iPhone 13 mini instead. The gap between the 12 mini and the 13 mini is actually huge. With the 13 mini, you get a thinner notch, a really great camera, way more battery life, and just much more stable and mature thermals and performance. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of iOS 27 and if you're still rocking an iPhone 12. Catch you in the next one.